So I've just had a really crazy morning. I went out for a walk while calling my grandparents around the town, and I came here to shoot a video today showing you guys around Yesan. I'm just going to walk through the rural town, this tiny little Korean town I live in, and I want to show you what it's like, because I think today's a pretty nice day to be doing that. And I actually just made a new Korean friend just now. I just came out here to start my recording, and he came up to me like, "Oh, is that Pocket 2, the camera?" And I was like, "Yeah," and we spoke for a bit, and I got his cacao, so I have a new friend. It's been a good day. Let's go. So I'm not entirely sure why, but they've had all these lanterns put up for about a week now. I think it's because the cherry blossom festival is starting, and maybe they're not cherry blossoms, but there's a lot of like trees with blossoms on lining the road. And something you'll notice about my town is that there are apples everywhere. So you can see on the fences here, there's just apples. There's like the little apple man. And wherever you go in the town, they have these like apple features pretty much everywhere. But it's really cool. It's a place that's famous for apples. And usually in Korea, fruit is really expensive. But here, apples are actually really, really affordable, and they're absolutely delicious. There's always a lot of stray cats in Korea. You find this. All around the town you see these cats. So this is the main road we're coming out to now, which is completely lined with restaurants. And there's loads of restaurants for a town that seems so small. And they're all locally run. They're not really big chains. Like there's no McDonald's, no KFC, no Starbucks, nothing like this. It's all locally run, which is really nice. That's the laundry place where you need to do your bed sheets. Yeah. And there's all sorts of restaurants here. They have like Korean barbecue restaurants, there's sushi restaurants, there's pizza, there's a burger place, but there's probably about 50 restaurants during the whole town. Despite this town being actually a pretty big town, in inverted commas, about 70,000 people live here, it's amazing seeing how completely deserted it is. I can just walk through the middle of the road making this video, and there is basically no one around anywhere. Even with all these restaurants, it's completely deserted. The other interesting thing is a lot of the shops still have English written on them. I don't know why, because there's probably less than 10 English speakers in this entire town. It's still interesting that a lot of places have English written on them, like even the face mask sign right in front of me. So we're coming down to the other bit of the main high street where there's lots more restaurants and stuff like that. There's convenience stores on basically every corner. But I very rarely go to convenience stores because they're just not really a thing in the UK, so I don't really feel the need for them. Up ahead on the hill, you can see a bunch of trees, and I'm wondering what those trees are. I kind of want to go and have a look. This cafe behind me called Paris Baguette or Bakery is actually really good. I go there quite a lot, and you can get so many delicious things, and they're all really reasonably cheap. So I go there quite often. It's really good. But there's actually quite a lot of bakeries in the town. Maybe I've seen 4 of them. So there's a fair few of them around as well. Interestingly, there are literally like 3 churches right here. There's one just there. There's one just there. And there's another one. I think maybe it was this building, or I don't know, but from somewhere you could see 3 crosses. So Christianity is a pretty big thing, even in this tiny little town. There's a lot of Christian people in Korea, probably even more than in the UK, possibly. And unlike the UK, where it's mostly older people who are religious, in Korea, it's younger people as well. I've met quite a few young people my age who are also Christian, so that's really interesting. All of these fields here are actually apple orchards, which is really interesting. So Yesan is famous for apples, as I said. There's lots of apple things everywhere. And these fields make huge amounts of delicious apples. This next area I really wanted to show you. I want to come through here because one, it's more fun to go down the big steps, and two, there's some nice little traditional Korean houses down here too, which are also really nice, and I always just like walking past them. So I just find it more fun to walk down the long steps than to walk along the main road. So that's the other reason I came down here. So the next part of the walk I'm going on today, there is a market in town. They have this market usually about 6 times a month. And it's basically a fresh food and vegetable market, and you can get all sorts, vegetables, fish, and meat, and it's absolutely amazing. And I just wanted to walk through here and let you guys have a glimpse of it. I'm working on a longer video specifically about the market because I think it's really awesome, and I love these sorts of traditional markets. I've been to them in the UK, and I think it's awesome that they have them in towns like this in Korea. You can see over there, they have like street food markets and stuff too, which is really cool. Oh, these look really tasty. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
Good afternoon. Where are you from?
Oh. Oh, yeah. It looks tasty. Ah, 감사합니다. There's loads of eggs over here as well, which is interesting. There's different types of eggs. I'm not sure what the white ones are. 안녕하세요. It's the lady I normally buy my mushrooms from. They're really good mushrooms. There's like fresh fruit, they have bananas and grapes. It's usually a lot cheaper here at the market than it is when you go to main supermarkets. Even the tomatoes, there's a lot of tomatoes. I don't know how much they are, but probably a lot cheaper. And strawberries, which are usually really expensive. Oh wow. I don't even know what these are. Oh.
불미나리 왔어요.
Oh. It's like you can buy the octopus live, which is really scary. Oh, and crabs too. They're all still alive when they sell them, which is really crazy. And there's loads of different fish. And these guys just sell spices. Like they make their own spice sauces, which are really good. Oh. Even here you can see the apples on the fence by the train station. This is the train station. There's no underground or much like that here, but there's apples on the fences because, you know, Yesan famous for apples, so that's cool. So that's the market. I'm looking forward to making like a more detailed video about the market because I think it's really awesome. And if you are a foreigner living in Korea, it's really useful because you can buy things at a much more affordable price than in the supermarket. So like you can buy 150 grams worth of mushrooms maybe for like 2,000 to 3,000 won in a store, but at the market you can get like a kilo for about 10,000, which is an awful lot cheaper than the supermarket. So we're coming up to like the other high street, but this is more like the corporate area where like the dentists and the banks and stuff like that are going to be. And there's a lot more restaurants again, because there is a surprisingly high number of restaurants in the town. Oh, got a little bit of underboob visible on the banner. Don't want to get demonetized. So we're getting to a more quiet part of the town now. Up here is the biggest supermarket in the town, which I go there pretty much most of the time to get my meat because there's two supermarkets, and one of them is really good for like biscuits and smaller things like that. But the store up here is a lot better for getting meat and fish and stuff like that. There's also a really nice little park up here, which I wanted to show you guys, which I only noticed the other day for the first time, even though I've been here for 3 months. And there's another church. It's another church. And more apples. Everywhere we go, there are apples on the fences. So that's pretty much a walk around my little town. I've shown you the high street with all of the restaurants, the motorway. I've shown you the market. I haven't gone past the parks and stuff. And I found this wonderful water feature. But that's pretty much the only things there are to show you here. There's not a whole lot. It's a very small rural place. If you would like to see me walking around some other random places in Korea, I don't like doing the videos where you just walk and don't talk and that's it. I find them a bit boring. And I'd like to be able to tell you a little bit more about the places that I'm going to. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.